Okay. You're rolling. Okay. So, Tom, you're working on another film, and you're trying to promote this one, and your life is pretty crazy
yes, ma'am.
these days.
I've been doing night shooting for 4 weeks here in New York.
What is this film you're working on?
It's called Someone to Watch Over Me. It's a cop story.
Oh, okay. So that we're explaining away the glasses here.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you have to be riding a terrific high because the reaction to the film is just incredible. Your performance, Tom, is spectacular. I can't find, the superlatives enough to talk about it. But you do have a Golden Globe nomination for Best Supporting Actor, and it's a foregone conclusion. I'm taking all bets that you will have an Oscar nomination for your role. Should you win any or both or one of these awards, should you win an award, what would you like to say if you don't get too rattled and forget where you are? What would you like to say about all this?
Well, I don't know. I think I would have to say something like, besides obviously thanking Oliver, for writing it and casting me and all that, and trusting me to do it. I don't know. It's sort of like the film had a dedication to the veterans of Vietnam and stuff, and I was invited to go down to West Virginia for the dedication of a monument to the veterans in West Virginia, and there would be a sort of a tie-in with a couple TV promos paid for by the state of West Virginia. But I can't help feel a bit guilty about all that because I didn't serve. You see what I'm saying? It almost should be somebody else. Maybe they should drag Dale or Oliver all over the country and have them do all this stuff, but they can't possibly be everywhere. And I don't know how I feel about that. I have mixed emotions. On the other hand, maybe the film itself is sort of a living monument, rather than a statue in Wheeling, West Virginia, or even the wall in Washington. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that is kind of like a statue. And if that's true, well then we did our job. But I can't. It's funny. It's if it was a Civil War movie, it wouldn't be as big a deal because nobody's around, and I feel a little bit guilty that I didn't serve. You see. So for me to get up and I'm making money at the benefit of other people who died or were wounded or served.
I can understand your ambivalent feelings about it. I can. Do you think that Barnes' hostility was due in great part, or some part at least, to his disfigurement?
Oh yeah, that's true. This war at this point for him has become a payback situation, revenge for what they did to him. And he can say all kinds of other things about it, like we have to do this and we have to do that and stuff, but it's gotten very personal with him, and the only person who really knows that, I think, specifically knows it and thinks about it is Sergeant Elias, who I think mentioned in the scene with Charlie that Barnes is losing it. He's not fighting the war like he used to or should, whatever. It's become a personal thing. It's Captain Ahab going after Moby Dick at the risk of his entire crew, and if you remember the story, the people, what do you call it, the industrialists in Boston or Provincetown that paid for a ship, invested in his whaling expeditions and expect him to come home with the barrels of oil. And he's forgetting about it. He's not going back to Massachusetts. He's going out there to get this whale that, did that to him. And he destroys everything.
Okay, if you'll just pan over now to Captain Dye. Captain Dye, you were responsible for training these actors so that they could survive and give an accurate portrayal, which indeed they do. It's the most realistic war film I have ever seen. Could you describe for me the kind of training you gave them?
Yes, I gave them a crash course in infantry life and jungle warfare. I compressed and telescoped what would generally be given to young troops getting ready to go into that kind of war. And I made it purposely strenuous. It not only was physically but psychologically strenuous. I kept them up all night, almost every night. I fed them only twice a day, dehydrated military rations. They slept in two-man fighting holes dug in the earth, in the jungle. No phones, no agents, no niceties, no nothing. Because we felt, Oliver and I, very strongly that we needed them to understand and feel that deprivation of an infantryman in that kind of war in order to portray it on the screen. So we put them through the ringer, and intentionally so.
And did they survive it?
Yes, they did, and they survived some very dangerous situations. There were times when I thought I had gone too far. But they're a marvelous group of young actors and young human beings with intelligence, intuitiveness, innovativeness, and they brought that to their experience. And they found their way out of some tricky situations. I was very, very proud of them. To this day, we are still the 2nd Platoon of Bravo Company. We still see each other regularly. We still have reunions and that sort of thing. And I think we've become as close as I was with some of the men that I served with in Vietnam.
To you, is it a totally accurate, realistic portrayal?
No, ma'am. And no film can be. There is no way to capture the extremes of deadly danger and fear and the smell of it and the anguish of it. It can't be done. It can't be done in a book, and it can't be done in a novel, and it can't be done in a comic book or anything else. But it certainly is the closest anyone will ever come, I think.
All right, now, operator, if you would just pull back to a usable pullback to a 3-shot, and let me know when
We're there.
you're there. Okay, now just hang on to it for, give me like 5-10 seconds worth, and I'll continue this inane chatter, which hopefully the lip readers won't be able to tell what's going on.
Absolutely. We've been reading lips all day.
Okay, now if you'll just serious up for 1 second, and both of you look at me. Okay, and again, I'll just chatter inanely, insanely, and I'll thank you both for being very cooperative.
Our pleasure.
You.
Thank you, ma'am.
And again, super movie. Okay.